brother, 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 brother. What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we toss, brother. We get it in, but before we get it in, let's get to this intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that, brother. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking, and I appreciate the support, brother. And let's go. You guys ready for another super wood? So this is a tall tale about a tall wood and a different type of wood, right? I don't even know if you can call them that, but if you guys have watched my wood series, right, my super wood series about Roach, I told you about his nephew that came to live with them for a while. Now, this nephew was an Edgar Wood, brother, right? He was a little bit different. He was more new school and was into new school shit, right? And Roach was trying to, with pliers, literally, ply everything out of him, right? Brother, I think my nephew got issues. I said, does he? Why? What's wrong with him? Oh, no, brother, it's going to take a lot of medicine to help him. Yeah? What do you need? I got a few different things in my drawer. Brother, you got spark plugs? Right? He needed something to re-energize this dude, because this dude was going down the wrong path and the wrong path fast. And I'm not going to lie, man. He was cool, a cool cat. He'd like to say the N-word in the cuts, right? But I didn't really want to be around him, because I was like, man, this dude is some feminine about him, right? There was some feminine about this dude, right? Just a little too juicy. He was a little too chirujo juicy, right? There's some, but he was Bud Light out the game. There was just a little, hey, look, just because you paint your fingernails black doesn't make you gothic, right? There's something wrong with you. So anyways, this was the type of time he was on, and Roach was like, brother, man, we have to have a conversation. I said, what's up? I don't know what to do with this kid. I'm about to throw him the fuck out of town. I said, damn, back in the days, moms would throw you the fuck out the house, right? This dude was about to throw him the fuck out the town. Like, he was going to get rid of him. Brother, loan me $60 so I could put this fucker on the Greyhound. To where? To Turlock. I don't give a fuck. Just get him out of here, right? He'll go there. Maybe he can enjoy himself. So the way that this all came out and where it went down, right? And we literally drove this dude to the Greyhound. He found his fucking way back. We took him all the way to Fresno and dropped him off at that Greyhound. He figured, like a fucking dog, if you take him out in the country, maybe he won't find his way back home. I was like, damn, you're cold-blooded. He was like, brother, you don't understand. I'm a white man, and there's a lot of people watching me. I got a lot to fucking prove here, right? I can't be having fucking sissy la-la running around my house. I understand you got cousins that are all right. I've been around them, but that's a Mexican thing. As far as the white man, that's just nuts, brother, right? So anyways, we were all chilling at his pad. We were having their version of a baptismo. Now, in the Mexican culture, in the raza, we go all out. A baptismo is like a big thing. There's carnitas, there's a whole fucking pig underground being cooked. There's menudo, there's pozole, there's fucking salsa, there's tias dancing with the youngsters, like everything. There's kids getting hit with chanclas. Like, there's real shit going down at a Mexican baptismo, right? The priest is like the one. He's controlling everything. Beat that one. Hit them. What is that? Is that ooh, look at the naga, right? They're just doing their thing. That's a Mexican baptismo, but a wood baptismo, brother, is a little different, right? They bring this little white kid with no shoes and socks. It's December. Fire up the grill, brother. We're having hot links. Wait up, blacks like hot links. We're having turkey brats and sauerkraut, right? Like I'm in the back there eating fucking turkey burger, right? And I'm chilling, right? And of course, Roach's mom, now she's the one. Not the priest, not the none. She's the one. She's running around. I'm like, you guys really baptize your kids? Like, no, nothing against the Woods, brother, but I didn't know that it went down like that. Brother, we're practicing Catholics. I said, for reals? Yeah, we practiced at it. We didn't make it, but fuck it. We're still going to do what we do. So they were like, where they dip the whole kid in like one of those pools and just have a conversation and bring them up. The kid's crying, right? Cold than a motherfucker. No shoes and socks. I ain't never seen. I digress, right? That's Roach's sister, so we're not going to talk about her kid's feet. But I'm just going to say motherfuckers were pink as that, right? They were pink. They were real pinkish. Pinker than my cheeks. So we're in the backyard. We're doing this now. His nephew had came and lived with them for a while. His sister was down, which is his nephew's mother, right? So Roach had already been looking for a way to send this kid back, like send this youngster back. He'd been in a little thing, man. He was causing chaos. He was going around, hanging around with black people and shit, right? Him and Roach's son were doing some bad shit. They was out there breaking in houses, and Roach was like, brother, I'm fucking upset. Can you believe these little fuckers are breaking in houses? I said, yeah, that ain't good. No, they got a fucking VCR and didn't even give it to me. Charged me 10 fucking bucks for a VCR. I use DVDs. That's fucking blasphemous. Should have charged me 5. I'd have fucking bought it quick, right? So he was upset for all the stupidest things, but at the same time, I could understand his reasoning. His reasoning was, brother, like between me and you, not on no weird shit. I just don't like the fact that he's coming over here trying to take over shit. My mom's all doting on him. Oh, that's my grandson. I love him. Fuck him. Right? So Roach was pretty hostile and hot at the situation. So fast forward, we're in the backyard, right? We're all chilling, man. I'm around some real woods. I mean, there's dudes that just, this is all you hear. And it's just different. They don't even say brother. They say brother. Yeah. Have you ever heard of real wood when he says brother? And they're all over their horse playing and doing their thing. Credit check. Brother, grab it if you're going to grab it, right? And I'm just like, whoa. There was family members that came for this baptismo, right, that I had never met before. He had an uncle named Harry and the Hendersons, right? Harry and the Rochersons. Let me tell you, this dude had a whip, he looked like a fucking wizard from, what's that shit called? Lord of the Rings. His whip was scraggly, worse than my beard, right? All the way down past his belly button. And that motherfucker said, I want a hot link. I was like, brother. I was like, oh, shit. And his old lady she was born with no teeth and never developed them. She was all gums, right? All gums. She was over there away, and the mom's having a conversation. And I'm just like, what in the wild world of white people is this shit, right? What's going on here, brother? And so he's introducing me to all those people. Oh, he's a Norteño. You know, we don't fuck with them in prison, but yeah, he actually sells a lot of dope. So yeah, we're gonna give him a pass at this point. But if you guys see him, if his eyes fucking twitch, if he looks at my sister one more time because she has the big, how do you say it? Say it in Mexican. Say it in Mexican. Nalgas? Nalgas. If she has big nalgas and he's looking at him, which she does have big nalgas, and is he looking right now? Tell me that fucker's looking, right? Come on, man. I'm not going to disrespect you, Roach, like that. Of course I was looking, right? Everyone's going to look. Sneak peek. So anyways, he's introduced me to all these people. One's crazier than the next. This was the real fucking Addams family. These were the Munsters. They were the fucking Munsters, right? Hey, there's a difference between good white people that are just, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Okay, yeah. So anyways, Todd, I was thinking about the points and the numbers, right? There's difference between them and brother, and that's a chick, right? What are you doing? That's a Mexican, right? You can't drink out of my hose. Like, what the fuck? It's a fucking water hose. That's right. That's a white man's water hose, or a white woman in this case, right? And I'm just like, and that was a woman talking, not even Roach. It was just different. So we're kicking it, and this nephew of his, right? Roach is like, this is a perfect opportunity to tell him a crazy story that's going to get rid of him, right? So he comes up with this scheme. Brother, I'm going to tell him some crazy shit. Now, there's no truth to it, brother. But I'm going to tell him a crazy story, and it's going to scare him away. He's going to want to go with his mom's, and then everything's good. And I always wondered, like, I understood the kid was like breaking in houses and doing stupid shit, but he needed a place to grow. Like, he had gotten into some trouble back in Arkansas. So he needed a place to change, right? And of course, what's better than with his Uncle Roach? Brother, can you believe this motherfucker twirls the ball faster than I do? Like, I got a rhythm. This motherfucker just spins it. I don't like spinning because shit drips out, and I'm trying to catch it. He's just different. So I'm like, all right, man, whatever. So we're kicking back, and I'm topping it up with Dwarfwood. He's there, right? Hey, this little motherfucker found a suit. I don't know to what degree of doll that he found this little tuxedo suit at. This motherfucker looked like Homie the Clown, and I don't play that. This motherfucker got a little suit on, and so I'm chopping it up with him like, what's up, man? We're just kicking it. And Roach goes in, yeah, and he got his nephew and his son there, whose son's half black, right? which is kind of a trip. But at this point in time, everyone accepted it. At first, Roach hid it for a long time that he had kids with a black woman, that he was actually with one, right? But then eventually it came out. We helped her move. We did all kinds of shit. Like, it was cool. Those that knew, and those that knew, half of them fucking were mad. But whatever.
Roach, bro, that's right. I'm just doing to this woman what they've done to us for a whole bunch of 100 years. Play basketball better than us, right? She's dribbling and I'm double dribbling,
right? So that was his thing. So he goes into this crazy story about prison. It's always about prison, because that's like, people like myself, people like Roach, we're institutionalized, right? That's all we have to talk about in life. We don't talk about, oh man, I went to a bomb taco truck and I ate a good carne asada burrito. We don't talk about that. Fuck that carne asada. Brother, the best spread I ever had was in Old Folsom, right? It's always going to be like that. The type of motherfucker that goes in food for less doesn't grab beer first, doesn't grab a steak first, doesn't grab charcoal for the grill, goes straight to grab 2 cases of sopas and some tapatio. Like, it's just what it is.
No, brother, I use Louisiana hot sauce. I know black people created it, but I love it. According to them, they created everything. So fuck it. Hip hop belongs to them.
He's just nuts. And so he goes into this fucking story.
He's like, brother, I was locked up and as a white man, we have certain things we can and cannot do. We horseplay a little bit, sex play. It's cool. It's cool. We don't go. Look, so the rules are, as long as you don't go in and you just go around, everything is good. But then, I get a celly. And he was a little bit younger, celly, and he was driving me nuts because he didn't want to share a soup bus. He didn't want to, his coffee game was way off track, brother. If you're going to fucking be in a real wood cell, you got to have at least 8 jars minimum of Folgers, 2 bags of Keef, and you got to go out there and hustle a bag of Tasters. That's the fucking rules and the regulations, brother. Wes Watson, that bitch wouldn't have made it, right?
So I'm like, he's going into this crazy story, getting off track like I get off track. And then he goes,
yeah, I got this celly, and so I was trying to get him up out of the cell. So what I started to do was start playing with them a little bit.
And now I get interested in the story. Like, what do you mean playing with them? Because I've gotten rid of a celly that I didn't like before, a celly that stunk. Shadow from soccer. I've told you guys about it, man. I had to bamboozle him and trick him into going to fake a heart attack and get the fuck out of my cell. Did I get a little in trouble for that? Some homies to question it, but he never came back, and so that saved me, right? He never had a chance to tell his side of the story, which was, the homies are going to get you. They're going to kill you. I was trying to get him up out of that motherfucker stunk.
So anyways, Roach was like, yeah, I got this youngster in my cell, and so I do what I'm saying? I don't want him in there.
So, and now he's telling this whole story to scare his nephew, right? But his nephew's intrigued. He's intrigued by the prison stories. This motherfucker's on a one-way ticket to the penitentiary or to the grave, so he don't care. At this point, he's trying to figure out how to not make the same mistakes his toothless uncle made, right? He did not respect Roach like Roach respected him. Roach was like, I fucking love him. And then when I asked the nephew, what's up? I guess he's all right. Would, right? So that's how he was Peabody, too. That's how he talked. I guess he's all right, brother. So
he's like, brother, I'm in the cell, and I'm just trying to contemplate what I'm going to do. It's a big word for me, contemplate. It's a white word, though. We created that. Blacks didn't create that one, I promise. And as I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to sex play him a little bit.
I'm like, to what degree, Roach?
Well, what do you mean to what degree? To the highest degree, brother. I mean, I'm not going to go in, but I'm definitely not going to go out either. I ain't going out like that. In-N-Out burger.
So he gets to telling us the story about how, right? Trip out on this. How he started to test his celly to see, like at first it was trying to play with the celly, get a little too aggressive, a little too close. I want to get close to you. He was on his Rolls Royce shit. He was trying to get a little bit close. So that way his celly could be like, oh, hell no, I'm out of here, right?
Instead of just telling, listen, brother, this is the way it fucking is, Jack. I'm white. You're a lighter shade of white, but at the same time, it ain't right. Get the fuck out of my cell, brother.
Or just do whatever you feel you got to do, penitentiary stuff. No, his grand scheme and master plan. Now, as he's starting to tell the story, I could tell that Roach is getting in debt with it. He's reliving it. His eyes start to flutter and shit. Like, nah, this ain't some story you're making up to scare your nephew off. And I don't see how this story is relevant to scaring your nephew off. This motherfucker got his shit's hard, right? Like, what's going on here? I'm in a circle jerk, a bunch of jerks in a circle, and I'm like, oh, nah. Even Dwarfwood, who really gets all intrigued, he loves prison shit. Brother Sacramaniac, right? Even that motherfucker's like, brother, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, out of everyone you want to talk to the Mexicans, you damn right. Hurley, everyone's chilling, all these crazy uncles and nephews. And so he's like, yeah, brother. So what happens? I start to play with him. And he starts to like it.
So you know what? I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go all the way if I'm going to go.
right? And gets to telling us the story about how he got a little aggressive with this dude. Eventually, they end up getting in a fight because that dude starts reciprocating what Roach is doing. So Roach finds himself in a catch-22, finds himself against a rock and a big hard place, right? And Roach don't know what to do.
Brother, when I licked your ear, I didn't mean lick back.
Right? So, hey, they get into a fight. Eventually, Roach goes to add seg. He's in question for beating up a wood, but they're allowed to do that, to fight. Cellies are allowed to fight. Northerners, Southerners don't really do that, right? There's no hands policy. You just don't fight yourself. It happens, but motherfuckers not supposed to, especially Northerners. You can't put hands on another Norteño, right? In good standing. It's the way it is. So, anyways, this motherfucker goes to add seg, right? So here's the cool story. His celly rolls it up. He goes to add seg 2 for the fight, rolls it up. Goes onto the SNY yard, right? He's done. He hung up his
brass knuckles, brother, and his suspenders and his high Doc Martens.
He was a skinhead. He's done, right? So Roach eventually comes back to the yard. Say la vie, bye. He accomplished what he tried to accomplish, but also knows what the back of that dude's head tastes like, right? So, hey, who am I to judge Roach? He's my boy. He never tried to do no weird shit with me, so I'm just looking at him like, damn. And I know Woods like to play a lot, but this is above and beyond, brother, right? Brother! So anyways, his nephew's like, all intrigued in the story. So what happened? He's like, I'm going to tell you what the fuck happened. This guy goes over there and he joins this notorious gang. And I'm like, you went on the other side? They're called the GBGeezers, right? I'm like, the GBGeezers?
You know what I'm saying, brother?
I said, no, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. At this point, I was still an active Norteño and did not know zero about what he was saying. Had never been on the other side to understand what he was saying. Never had even heard of him. This is how I first heard of him.
He's like, the GBGeezers, brother. Bejesus, they'll bone the bejesus out of you. Have you ever seen them, how they jump people in? I said, I've never seen one, period. He's like, well, brother, let me tell you what happened. So after everything, that dude goes and becomes a GBGeezer. I'm doing my thing, right? Mainline status all day, every day. Give me 5, Roach. Give me 5, Roach.
I said, you are Roach.
That's what I'm saying, white man.
Right? He's giving himself 5.
Come on, Dwarfwood, give me 5.
Right? He's holding his hand way up here. Give me 5. Dwarfwood's trying to jump and shit. Can't make it. So
he's like, brother, I ran into this dude on the streets. I get out, and God, I go into a food for less. And I'm in there, and I'm buying white bread. We don't do wheat. It's too brown. And, just the wood in me, man. Little Coors Light, silver bullet to slow werewolf down. And I'm doing what I'm doing, buying some hams, and I'm buying a non-salted ham for my mother. And I see this guy, and he's got a beautiful woman. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, but he was a GBGeezer. And that's like a dropout gang. So I approached him. I approached him like a real wood's supposed to do. I said, hey, brother, I heard you like sucking shit. Right? Little did there was a point in time when my shit fell out, but it was horseplay. Right?
So he goes into a story about how he beats up this dude in food for less. But the dude's fighting back. His lady jumps him. It's whatever. Roach puts hands on this dude, right? This dude finds out Roach's pad and starts stalking Roach. Now, I'm listening to this story and I'm like, this motherfucker is just trying to say the craziest shit. Whatever would get a nephew like, this dude's too crazy. I'm going home with my mom, right? And I start to remember one time I pulled up to Roach's pad and there was an awkward, skinny white dude in a car in front of his house arguing with Roach. And I remember pulling up and Roach was like, I said, who's that, Roach? What's up? Because, I'm going to back my boy up.
He's like, oh, brother, don't even think about that person. Fuck that person. They're invisible. Literally, right?
And I remember not tripping. Then it dawned on me. So Roach tells his story. His nephew's peckers hard, and he goes and plays with his Roach's son, right? And I'm like, that didn't accomplish nothing. They're probably over there trying to lick each other's ear. This is wild.
Roach is like, brother.
And I'm like, hey, was that when you're telling the story about that dude, was that dude that was stalking you? Because he had told me, oh, there's some fucking dude I was in prison with. I think he's trying to find where I live.
He was like, yeah, brother, it was him.
I said, hey, bro, were you in some type of relationship with this guy or something?
Oh, brother, it was nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I was, what's that? I wanted to educate myself. I wanted to figure out why he did what he does.
I said, you wanted to find out why that man liked chorra.
Bro, I just wanted to, I feel bad. Like if I'm the one that started that.
I said, you probably did, but he's ending it. Anyways, right? This is what happens. It's about a week later. Roach's sister leaves. We're done. We're chilling in the front yard. Hey, Roach, every once in a while, like to smoke weed. When he got on his weed trip, he'll smoke like the whole bag in one day, right?
Brother, it's not doing nothing for me.
Yeah, well, it's because it's not your choice, right? So anyways, Roach is kicking back, and his nephew, he had played a trick on him. He's like, watch, I'm going to get rid of my nephew today, I promise. I said, bro, just tell him to go. Roach literally got a hold of this person. I don't know how he got, and this motherfucker full blown jumped off the car like, hey, Roach.
He was like, hey, what's up, brother? Brother.
Right? I was like, what the fuck, right? This became one of Roach's friends. I was like, Roach, this is a GBGzer.
He was like, yeah, brother, but Jesus, it is. But you know what?
Hey, and that dude came straight to his nephew like he was paid to do it. And let me tell you something. Roach's nephew was like, no, when he seen what it really was, right? Seen what time it really is.
And let me tell you, Roach was laughing, brother, you know, you got to get the fuck out of my house. You know what I mean? Or you're bringing these type of people around. He was like, you're the one that called him. We ended up taking that motherfucker to Fresno. He was frightened. And we dropped his ass off, man. That motherfucker disappeared on us for a week and popped back up at Roach's house. And guess what? Guess who gave him a ride to Roach's house? The GBGzer. It's crazy. Hey, but mind you, I didn't know about all this shit at that time, man. I wasn't aware of that type of shit. So I just thought it was a person that liked, you know what I'm saying, Gleezies. I didn't know. Anyways, with that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. We will be doing a Super Norteños today. That is my word. I got you. Bang, bang.